I talk about bouncing back and how not a lot of time to make any changes, not a lot of time to get the body back in shape. Just talk about the second half of this series and how do you approach it.
Yeah, not a lot of time to sulk on a loss either, which is a good thing, right? So it's very rare in professional football, especially, that you get an opportunity to right your wrongs against the same opponent. Like CFL is one of those leagues that you have that opportunity to play a team back to back. And so I think the guys are excited about that. I'm excited about that because there's some things we left out on that field and we got to do better and we want to do better in front of hopefully our best crowd of the year.
They're a good defense. That's been well established. I think you might be the first team that gets a crack at them back to back, and that's a different animal, right? Because it's fresh in your mind, and you can remember things that they did last week, and maybe try to make some corrections there.
Yeah, I think I've talked about the back to back being a little bit more advantageous for defense because it's so much harder for an offense to change their identity and change what they do because we got to install. And I think our installations are a little bit harder than defense. Defense, you can change a couple looks here or there, run different coverages in different situations. That goes totally against the data. So offensively, we're really data based everywhere I've been. And so when you go against that grain, it makes it a little bit harder for your game plan. But we're going to have some familiarity with them, which is good. And some of the coverages and some of the stuff that we've seen, we'll be able to go into that game that we know they had success with, that I would assume that they're going to still run because they had success with it.
Late afternoon practice gives you an extra 6 or 8 hours to recover body wise. Do you like that?
It was a little bit different today. I still woke up at 6 o'clock and I, kind of sat in bed and I was like, I'm just going to go to work. So I was around the facility basically all day trying to get my body right. But it was nice, the way that this schedule kind of leaned for us and the players and getting our legs back because the team with the freshest legs on Saturday is going to have the best chance. I mean, it was a physical game on Monday and we got to be able to get our bodies back underneath us and we got to be able to counter their punches with our own punches. And like I said, the healthiest and the freshest team on Saturday is going to be the team that has the best chance.
You kind of said on the post game show on Monday, you'd see how your body feels because it was a pretty physical game. How do you feel coming back from
Not
what you
good.
took?
Yeah, not good. Luckily, we didn't have to throw the ball today, so that was good. There's a couple hits in that game that it's part of playing the quarterback position, and anytime you lose, those little hits hurt a little bit more. You're winning, and like we were winning in the 3-game win streak, those pains that you feel they hurt a little bit less because momentum and positivity is high. So got to find a way to get myself back going, and tomorrow will be a good indication of just how guys are feeling, just moving around and getting a full practice in.
The physicality aside, I mean, how do you reset your mindset?
Yeah, this is a big mental week. There's only so much you can do physically, and there's going to be a lot of plays that we're going to put in and we're going to install that we're not going to have a live look at. We're going to only have like a walkthrough rep at. So we're going to have to be able to carry that over, that walkthrough and just being crisp into a game with live bullets. So that's the challenge for us this week, and that's the challenge for a lot of our young guys on this roster is how to prepare for these short weeks and how much you have to be in your playbook, how much you have to be still studying film. Even though it's the same opponent, you have to be in the film room just like it's a brand new opponent. So we're challenged this week, but the good news is they got the same challenge. So they're going through the same thing over there, and we got to have our veteran leaders stand up and show the young guys how to do it. And I'm helping some of the young guys just understand what a short week looks like in terms of being way more mental than it is physical.
Do you change anything this week in your routine? I know you already said you didn't sleep in when you had the
Yeah.
opportunity this morning, but do you change anything? Like, do you go to bed earlier? Do you eat differently? Do you do anything differently to make sure you're ready for Saturday?
I'm an old man. I go to bed early. I eat good anyway, so nothing really changes for me. The only thing that really changes is like a day like today, I would take off throwing, which I did. I just kind of let my right arm rest a little bit so you can come back a little bit fresher for practice. Other than that, like in terms of getting up and watching film, I'll watch the film. The hardest thing about a back-to-back, especially when you don't play well, is you got to watch that film and you got to stare it down each and every day. And so like it's a good reminder for me and it's a good reminder for a lot of the guys in there. Like I didn't play my best football and I'm reminded about it every day as we prepare for this team on Saturday. And so it's added motivation and it's going to help me just continue to push through the week and want to be better for this football team.
Thursday will be your only full practice of the week. How important is that day?
Very important. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of plays that we're not going to get to rep. So the plays that we do get to rep, we have to be aligned, assigned in the right spots so that when we do get it, it looks clean, it looks crisp. Because any MA or any miscue on those plays is a wasted rep, and we can't afford to waste any reps on a short week where you're only practicing once.
So I know players and coaches like to talk about we approach this game the same way we approach every game, but Isn't there a little bit of revenge in the back of your mind?
Yeah, without a doubt, and that's what I said. Like, other than baseball, I think playing back to back is very rare, especially in football. Like you don't get the opportunity to play the same team twice. So there's a lot of chess games between it, a lot of strategic behind it. But for us to have an opportunity to right our wrongs against the same opponent is a great opportunity for us, and for us to have it in our home stadium in front of our fans, and hopefully our fans can turn out and make it hard on them like they did on our offense. That's what we're looking forward to. We're just looking forward to put on a good show. At the end of the day, as doom and gloom as everybody makes it seem, we're a 3-1 football team in the last 4 games. So it's not all doom and gloom. We just went against the best team in the league, and we didn't play our best ball. So we're hoping to eradicate that and go out there and play some really good football and clean football against a really talented team.
What is it about the Western teams?
The West is brutal this year. I mean, if you just look at it from top to bottom, the West is brutal. It's hard. Every single given week is difficult. But that's the thing when it comes to a nine team league. Everyone has the same salary cap. Everyone has great players. There's times in the season where some teams are going to be flourishing, and then other teams are going to catch up. And I've seen it for year and year and year. It's this back and forth game. But there's a couple teams that will pull themselves and separate themselves from the pack, and it's usually around this time, Labor Day. And so we want to be able to continue to fight, scratch, and claw to put ourselves in a position so that we're playing meaningful football games in October and hopefully into November.
Good for you.
All righty.
Thanks, Cody. Appreciate it, man.